In today's video review, we're going to find out whether the Sony SA-RS5s deserve your $600 or are you better off finding something else. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. Before we begin this review, I've always wondered who comes up with these names like a Sony SA-RS5s. Why cannot they just name them Sony Wireless Surround Pros or the Surround Pro Ultras or the Surround Pro Recharged? Coming up with these names is truly a mouthful, and it's not just Sony that does that. There's so many vendors that are doing it, and I don't know who has made this decision that you need to really come up with these unique names for the AVRs, but it always gets to me, and I thought I'd just get this rant out of the way before we talk about these speakers. Looking at the specs, each speaker has a 90-watt amplifier built in with a total power output of 180 watts. These speakers deliver both rear channels and height effects. In addition to that, they have a battery that can power these speakers for up to 10 hours. Lastly, Sony offers 360-degree spatial sound mapping that can simulate phantom speakers for a truly immersive experience. They also come with an inbuilt microphone for auto calibration. So before I talk about these speakers, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the price. The Sony Surround Pros, as I'd like to call them, have been priced at $600. And at $600, the price is really hard for me to digest. The pricing is mainly due to the fact that not only are these speakers wireless, which is important, but these speakers are also battery powered, which I think is a niche that maybe not a lot of people are going to use them for. According to Sony, with these speakers being battery powered, you can use them for 10 hours and you can have them mounted on your wall. But the problem with this premise is that every time you turn your system back off, these speakers power off, and then you have to manually turn them back on. And this is where I think Sony has missed a trick. While a lot of folks are going to buy this speaker for its true wireless performance and the ease of use and convenience, if Sony had just included the battery and added Bluetooth, giving you the versatility to use these speakers not only as surround speakers but also speakers that you can take out, then battery makes a lot of sense and I would be happy to pay the premium for it. But the fact that Sony has just given you the battery so that you can probably mount these speakers on the wall just doesn't make sense to me. Setting up these speakers is a fairly straightforward process. To begin with, power on the speakers and they should automatically pair with your AV receiver or compatible soundbar. If the automatic pairing doesn't occur, you can manually initiate the process by pressing the pairing button located below the speakers to activate the pairing mode. Now let's talk about audio quality, and this is where things get a little bit interesting. And if there were two words to describe this, it's warm and musical. Now when it comes to surround sound, I look for two things in my surround speakers. One is the level of immersion they offer, and B, are they neutral to listen to in terms of are they going to pair well with your other speakers. And in both these criteria, Sony deliver. These speakers are an absolute joy to listen to. And it's not because of the sound quality of these speakers alone. The magic and the beauty of these speakers is happening inside the software. Sony is truly delivering that 360-degree audio that they're promising. And that spatial awareness, that trickery that they're doing in the software is the secret sauce that separates these speakers from the rest. I was watching this movie scene from the latest episode of Monarch on Apple TV, and I could really feel as if I was inside that movie scene, and I could hear audio buzzing past me from my left ear to my right ear to the ceiling, and I really felt that for a second that wow, these speakers are really coming alive. And if I had watched that with any other speaker, I would not get that same level of immersion. I could probably get better audio quality out of surround sound, but that 360-degree spatial audio that Sony is promising is where Sony truly deliver. Now there are better speakers to be had at $600 that can deliver better audio quality, but the software trickery that Sony is doing with the immersion that you get with these speakers is something that only Sony can do. At $600, Sony's are very hard for me to recommend because they're basically taking money for a battery powered speaker, and it's a feature that I myself personally am never going to use. So for me, if these speakers were priced at $400, then these are excellent speakers at that price point. So if money is not a problem for you, these speakers would truly deliver an absolutely fantastic cinematic experience for your home theater. But if you're someone who's on the fence, and especially if you're someone who can lay wires and do not need wireless speakers, I think there are better speakers out there at this price point that can deliver a better bang for the buck. So with that, I've come to the end of this video. What is your experience been with the Sony SA-RS5s? Have you purchased them? Are you considering them? Are there any quirks that you want to share with other users? Feel free to leave me a comment below. And until next time, I want to thank you all for watching.